I'm gonna take a swig of my thinking juice.
Are we live? Yes, we are. I think we're live. Yeah, we are. Okay, there we go. Just making sure.
Cool.
All right, sweet. What's up, Chase?
What up?
You like my new setup back here?
Yeah, there's a lot going on, but it looks dope as hell.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
I like it. I like that kind of thing. I like being able to like kind of like it's like see what you can find, like where's Waldo and things.
Oh, dude, I have here, and then on the other side is just a bunch of junk on the side.
Yeah, I'm
on
slowly.
The corner.
I think I'm finally getting my pot phase going. You know, with the
dope.
Got 2 of the 7.
Dope. Got me the 2 Spider-Mans last night.
Yeah, I think I want to get those.
I'm trying to get the Spider-Punk, which is going to be a Funko exclusive. Yeah, dude. And you said you got Minato, right?
I ordered him. Yeah, he'll be coming May.
Don't they have Tsunade out yet?
They haven't announced Tsunade.
And then you got Naruto, and then you got Kakashi. Yeah.
So here's
yeah, all that good. Well, we're here. Welcome everybody. We're here to talk Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania. This is going to be a spoiler discussion, so we're just kind of go through the movie with our thoughts and feelings and some of our favorite parts, some of our worst parts. I usually get off my chest how I felt about the movie. I'm just going to let you... Chase, we haven't even discussed the movie.
Not one bit. I have no idea what you're feeling.
Mr. Marvel, unfortunately, couldn't make it, but his thoughts were, I think he liked it, but he didn't like it as much. He was like, about it. And I think I'm with him. I'm like,
no,
it's a movie. It's a soulless movie to me. It's not, it's so much potential is there, but it was a black kind of movie. It was like a very generic movie. And I didn't want that to happen, especially with knowing that Kang was going to be involved, knowing that this is Ant-Man 3. So and this is the same director, Payton Reed, who did the other 2 Ant-Mans. Like, he should know if he wants this big of a pie, this should have been a better movie. I don't hate it. I don't think it's my worst list. I still think Captain Marvel, Thor 2, you could even throw Eternals in there a little bit, but Eternals was an kind of movie too. How do you feel about this film?
I think I'm with you on it, on the fact that to me, I hate using the word mid. I think it's the most annoying word ever. But if there was a movie that kind of determined that, like a movie that's just kind of right in the middle, that's this for me. Like, it doesn't have too much soul to it. You're right. It doesn't have too much going on to it. It doesn't have like any deep thoughts to it. It just kind of, it's a bland movie that you just kind of watch and enjoy. I enjoyed it. Yes. Like, I enjoyed Scott Lang. I enjoyed and loved Kang. I said I love Kang.
Jonathan Majors.
Yeah. Without Jonathan Majors, I think that movie fails hard. Jonathan Majors is awesome. But it's, to me, it got the negative reviews are a little bit too much. It's definitely getting too much hate. But it's definitely, I can understand it. But it's definitely, and for me, it's just right in that middle. It's definitely not in the worst of Marvel's categories. Yeah, but it's nowhere near its best.
Well, let's talk about some of the standouts. I think for me, some of the standouts is I think Paul Rudd is underrated in this movie. He does a really good job for what he's given, and I think the daughter and father relationship storyline could have been so much better.
Yeah,
I'll get to Cassie in a minute, but like Paul Rudd is doing a great job acting. And he's able to. I think he's just evolved with this character where you can give him a seriousness and you can give him some light moments too. What's going on, Papas? The other standout to me was Michelle Pfeiffer. Michelle Pfeiffer I thought was great too, for what she was given. Given. I mean, the whole plot with her and everything is but she's aged like fine wine. Her and Michael Douglas, I think I would have loved that, the center of the movie with them. Honestly, it would have been cool to see like the old Ant-Man and old Wasp at it, like for one last adventure. So I think Michelle Pfeiffer, I actually really liked her in this role. Of course, Jonathan Majors. Here's the thing though with Jonathan Majors is I think he did a good job. I'm not absolutely in love with his performance. I wasn't in love with Kang in the Loki series. I thought he did good, but in this movie, I guess the main problem is that this Kang the Conqueror that we got, is he really dead? Like, did we go on this journey with Kang, this version and variant of Kang, to be all for nothing?
Yeah, no, I don't think he's dead.
I don't think he's dead. I don't think he's dead
Yeah.
either.
I think, and the rumor was this wasn't the original ending. Apparently, the original ending was him winning and
Yeah,
getting out.
and
That would have
Ant-Man
been
and
so much
Wasp
better.
being stuck in the quanta realm. And I
Yeah,
think that was such a superior ending that they should have done,
yeah.
because I was like you could tell at the end of the movie that that's probably where they were going to go.
Yeah.
Another positive is another standout to me. Uh it's I think some of the jokes land, some of the jokes. So I think you know, when they're in the car and like he's listening to his own audiobook
Yeah.
and then he's like, "Oh, will I forever be a baby? Was I Hulk's baby?" Like I thought that was
Yeah.
pretty funny.
That was pretty funny.
Or like how he's like, "Oh, I was just happy to know this talking raccoon." That the little cameo with Wu was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of it though, honestly. I think I think the film looked horrible, honestly.
I think when it comes to the jokes, like whenever Paul Rudd's involved with the joke, that's when it's funny. When it's Marvel's brand of humor, it can be a little annoying. Like Marvel's just kind of throwing in random, like making Modok the joke of the movie. Yeah, like that stuff. That's where Marvel like bugs me, is when they make Modok a joke.
Yeah, go ahead. Go for it. All right. Yeah, I mean, dude, Modok. Okay, let's get into that. Modok, right?
Yeah.
Which is what's his name? Darren,
Yeah.
Yellow Jacket. And I was thinking too, with the flashback and knowing that it was gonna be Darren, like, dude, they wasted Yellow Jacket, because Yellow Jacket was kind of cool. He had a cool ass suit and stuff. And then I know Modok. I not know too much about him, but I know he's not supposed to be Darren. And then the and then Joy. The
kid's funny.
Just the overall, I think Modok. I saw something like on Facebook or whatever that had like the comparisons between this film and like, what was it, Spy Kids, and George Lopez's face being stretched out. Yeah. It's so spot on, because I don't understand why they didn't do the comic book like design.
I don't get why they didn't do the mask. Like the mask was cool, fine.
Or keep the mask on.
Keep the mask on. Like that was fine. But the fact that they kept it like his face, so annoying. I was like, why just put on the mask and it'll be so much better to look at.
Yeah,
it didn't make sense.
It didn't. Like, it's just, I mean, he's such a goofy character anyway.
Yeah.
But I mean, his jokes were so lame.
So bad.
Like, I'm not a dick.
Yeah. But that's Marvel's brand of joking. Like I said, Paul Rudd is joking. Paul Rudd, we love and know him. He's a hilarious person. When he's involved, it's funny. When Marvel does their brand of like taking a moment, like him climbing through all the different people, and then all of a sudden a Baskin Robin version of him pops in.
That was pretty funny.
It was pretty funny. But it's still like, it's Marvel's thing of like taking these serious moments or serious things and twisting it into a joke for no reason.
The only thing I just didn't like about that scene, because he's like, they're all like coming together, right? And then and then like he's held the Baskin Robbins version's like pulling him up, like, go get her. Like, it's the CGI is so bad. The CGI is so bad in this movie. Like, there was so many times where characters were lined up together, and then you could just totally tell the green screen in the back. It just looked really, really, really bad.
Yeah.
The editing. I heard about this in some of the reviews, and then I kind of looked out for it when I was watching this movie. Some of it was, at first I was like, oh, okay, well, there's like nothing, like, I don't see what they're talking about. And then I saw a particular scene where, like, I forgot what it was, but it would cut to the mom, Hope's mom, and Hope and Michael Douglas, and then it would cut to Paul Rudd and what they're doing, and the cuts are just so like the time and from cutting here to here, it just doesn't make any sense, or it just didn't cut right, it didn't flow right. What did you think about the creature designs in this movie? Because a lot of people are comparing this with like Star Wars.
Star Wars creature designs. I don't know. When I saw like the new creatures and stuff like that, I just think to like Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor and stuff like that. Like it's just kind of like I mean, they're a little bit more oddball, I guess, in this one.
Super oddball.
They're super oddball. So
like
they're a little bit
the
weirder.
Juice that they got to drink. That one character, so weird.
Which I didn't mind it. I didn't mind the characters and stuff like that. I mean, they were fine, but they were nothing interesting or something that like I cared too much about. You know, they were kind of just side things that kind of just got thrown in there. It felt like they were just tossed in there, just be like, here's some cool looking characters.
I know. Absolutely no. There's like no remembering or doesn't leave a lasting impact.
Yeah.
Like, I did not care about the rebels.
It's not like going back to Thor Ragnarok Thor Ragnarok and going back to like what's the Blue Rock guy and like the knife guy, like where those characters became memorable for whatever reason due to their jokes or whatever. Those characters became memorable in their weird, unique ways, and then we get to this, and it's like they try to do the same a little bit, but not really. Didn't failed, you know.
I absolutely agree though. Like I think Thor, as much as I didn't like absolutely love, I actually didn't love Thor Ragnarok. The characters were better than this. Like they were more memorable, like Korg, you know, and all that.
Korg, yeah.
I just, you know, I think Bill Murray's cameo was whatever.
Yeah, that was small. I thought it was gonna be bigger than that. He was just a small little. Kind of
it was just there. This is just a movie that was just there. I really checked out of it, a lot of it, like towards especially the ending.
I felt the same.
I checked out a lot. I mean, let's talk about Jonathan Majors as King. Like King, to me, like Jonathan Majors is cool. I like him as an actor. I think he's gonna kill it in Creed 3. I haven't seen the one where he was in a war movie he was in.
Bush. It was good.
I just, you know, I liked him. I just didn't think he didn't. I mean, I don't know. I'm just not on the same hype train as everybody. Like he did good, but I didn't think he was excellent. I think that we think he was excellent because this movie was so mediocre, and he kind of woke us up. You know, he was the one interesting aspect to this movie. Yeah. Like I wanted to know, like him and his relationship with Michelle Pfeiffer. I thought that was an interesting dynamic, and them trying to fix his ship. I thought his mechanics and his technology were interesting. I thought King in general was interesting. They just didn't give us enough for my taste. And a lot of people are saying like, how can we go with this guy when he gets his ass, or not ass kicked, but when he loses to Ant-Man, the worst, the most, not the worst superhero, but he, you know,
he lost to thousands and thousands of like humanoid ants.
He did.
He only got beat because of that, truly.
But he did get beat at the end though, when he gets sucked, you know. And
you saw a little bit of his brutality in that scene. And first, I was kind of really hoping he would win that fight because at first he's beating the crap out of him. It's like it was like the punches reminded me of Spider-Man No Way Home punches. Like you felt the weight behind him when he was hit.
Especially when he like kicks him.
Like you felt, they made you feel the weight of the hits. So like his strength showed there, but then all of a sudden he beats him. I was hoping he would win. I was really hoping he would win that fight.
It would make sense if he wins. Like if he killed Thor, like how is he struggling with Ant-Man? You know, his technology is superior than a Pym.
But it's supposed to be like he was destroyed, you know, with the ants and stuff like that, and you know. But it is that was a little bit of a letdown to me. I think with King, my excitement with him is I did think he was overall solid. Like I didn't think he was amazing, but I thought he was good. I was like, I really enjoyed him.
Solid.
And it's the thought of what King could be for this universe if they do him right. It's the fact that when we see the council in the end, which did not look great.
That was bad, dude.
It was bad CGI.
It was bad. And then like him going, woo, woo, like a monkey.
Yeah.
Like in the stands.
But I think that's the part of it is like, that's it. Kang. You know, Kang is like there's so many different variants of him, and there's going to be weird ones of him too. You know what it was? It was the Councils of Rick from Rick and Morty.
It was totally Council of Rick, and honestly, they have some writers from Rick and Morty doing these Marvel movies, and like, dude, they need.
If they fix the CGI and they make it right, like Kong's such an interesting villain for the universe.
Yeah, like he should be. Like I could see him being a badass, but like this film is not putting my faith in like the overall big story. You know, like Kang Dynasty and Kang and our Avengers Secret Wars. Like I don't know, man.
Oh yeah,
there's been a lot of like kind of duds lately.
Yeah, and this was supposed to be the one that really set the path for at least that we thought for the MCU and where it was going. And really, it was just a small introduction into Kang. And other than that, it didn't serve as much else.
I mean, if they kill off this version of Kang, then like should we even invest in like all the other Kangs? I don't care about the other Kangs.
It's gonna come down to like Loki season 2. Like, what are we gonna? Oh, you gonna bring stuff?
Don't do that, okay? All right, go. No, you're good. I gotta discipline this child. I got a Kang.
Loki season 2. We'll see. I think Loki season 2 has to be the one to kind of give us more of an understanding of Kang and how he operates and what he's about.
I think he's rumored to be in 3 episodes of that film.
Oh, really?
Yeah, of that film of season. Yeah. So I mean, I'm sure they will. It's just I'm not so confident in the writers. Like this should be a home run.
The writers.
This movie should have been a home run. I think it's made like $100-something million.
Yeah.
I think it's done. It's done better than the other Ant-Man movies. Yeah. And it's not a bad opening, weekend. But I think word of mouth is really going to hurt this film. I think that people are just kind of getting fatigued of Marvel's shtick. There's just too much of. I think that's why we love No Way Home so much, is that you had your jokes, but when it was going to be serious and Peter was going through this like downfall, is the Peter Parker we know in the comics, like they made it. They took their time to be serious with the events that were unfolding, and then they gradually came back with the other Spider-Mans coming in. Who I think the best parts in Marvel is like talking about Uncle Ben and how much they mean to him, or Aunt May, or Thor talking about how much he's lost, and Rocket, the biggest like not piece of crap, but the biggest like downer, saying it it's okay to Thor, it's I don't know what happened. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I think Kevin Feige needs to really, really. I think there's way too much content. I've talked about this constantly. And by the way, I called it. I said that Spider-Man was probably going to be the leader of the Avengers.
Secret Wars,
the next phase, and I think that's what's going to happen.
You have to at this point. There's no one else.
No, they don't have a big time lead right now.
I thought it was gonna be Doctor Strange, but people didn't react well to the Doctor Strange movie very well.
And I like that movie 1,000 times better than this movie. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's the thing. Doctor Strange to me too was one of the few Marvel movies in this phase where it went in a like the feeling of it was different. In the fact that it went from a horror aspect, it took one of our heroes and turned him into a villain.
Yeah,
it went to a different direction. It still had some of its Marvel tropes and some bad CGI, but it was at least a different feel from other Marvel movies.
I think a majority has to blame with not only hiring Payton Reed as his director, but Payton Reed himself. I don't think this guy is a terrible director, because I like the other Ant-Man movies and I know he's done some other work, but I'm not hearing a lot of blame for this director, because he wanted more. He wanted Kang in here. Yeah. He wanted the big boy rings, and he didn't deliver. He's just a very by the book director, and I think you should have got somebody else whose imagination would have explored more of this and probably would have done a better job visually. Because Chase, man, this movie looks off. Like the look of it doesn't look very good. One particular part is when we know that Cassie has a suit. Cassie and her dad, Scott, they're like, running through, like there's Kang's ships and armies coming to get these rebels.
Oh yeah.
And they're going after them. And like they have red and black and purple and black suits, and I couldn't really see anything because the background and the lighting and just the overall world that the quantum realm, the quantum realm doesn't. It didn't gel. It didn't look good. Like I expected it to look better than we got, and like you said, like it was really Rick and Morty, but even Rick and Morty has more colors to it when they do venture off. Another question I have for you too is, how did you feel about Cassie? How did you feel about the recasting? How did you feel about the actress and her acting in this film, and just the overall character?
I like the actress, but like I don't know, like did you really need to recast her? It's not like she did really anything special, or was that special? Like they didn't give her like much to work with besides telling a guy that he's a dick, and then I mean I guess the speech was their big thing,
So
which
dumb too.
was not great.
Oh, don't do that, Troy. It's gonna.
So like I don't know if I want to blame the actor on it, but the actor's fine. Like she's cool. She's
She did all right.
But like there's nothing about it that's special with her. Like there's nothing about like this has been Marvel's whole stick for the last phase or so. It's been handing off the reins to a new Ant-Man, new Hulk, new Thor, new thing. And it's like the only time they've done it right was Wakanda Forever. Every single one, a new reigns has been horrible. Ironheart, mediocre.
Put a pin right there, because I'm gonna say this is that with Captain and Iron Man and all the big heavy hitters leaving, they should have focused this phase more on the secondary characters, and then later on move to the younger ones. Like Ant-Man should get more shine because he didn't get enough shine in the first two phases. I mean, if you're gonna really push Miss Marvel on us, you better do it now. I think you're right with Black Panther. I think Shuri did. I think they did a great job in that film with you know Shuri and stuff, and then passing the baton to now the next T'Challa. Who was the other one? There was another kind of kid one. Hawkeye. Like this was the time to give Hawkeye a little bit more, time, because these are secondary characters that you could explore.
Haley Steinfeld, that is a plus too, though. I'll give her that. Ooh, I'm losing you a little bit.
That's your go-to.
Yeah. Am I losing you or is it you? Hold up.
Having some.
Oh, I'm losing you. Am I losing you or is that your end? Can you hear me? You there?
On the connection.
Oh,
there we go.
Are
we back on?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me, Chase?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Chase Rooney. Chase Rooney. Restore them. Connection issues. What are you doing, Troy? What are you doing? I can see Chase. I don't know if we're still live.
What?
I don't know what happened, Papas.
Abby, I don't know what happened.
I don't know what happened.
I know it's free, baby.
Baby.
What?
Uncle Chase.
Ah.
Can you go throw that away?
What?
Can you go throw that away?
Not yet.
Yeah. There we go.
Why am I not Can you hear me?
There we go. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Cool. I'm back again.
I think we're still live.
I think so.
Let's go take a look. Yeah, I don't know. The connection just like really dropped on this one.
Yeah, I don't know if it's me or you.
Let me see. I think we're live still. Let the beat drop.
Cute.
Oh yeah.
There we go. We're back.
Okay. Yeah, we're back. Okay.
Back.
Back again.
Back again.
Shady's back.
Right.
Tell a friend.
Mm-hmm. We don't have friends. That's why we do this.
We back. Okay. All right, we're back. There we go.
All right, cool.
Can you go this way for me? About this? Thank you. Okay, I need a refreshment after that. What were we talking about? We're talking about Cassie.
Yeah,
Cassie. So yeah, continue what you were saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying Cassie. To me, she reminds me a lot. Like the weird thing with Marvel and their phase of passing the baton on to next heroes, it's why aren't none of them truly being challenged? Like, why are we just getting smart alecky, like people that kind of like talk back to the old hero that don't really get like challenged in any way? Like, this is why Shuri was the best one, because Shuri, like, she had to become her own hero. She had to lose her brother, lose her mom, like figure out what kind of person she wants to be. Does she want to be the queen? What kind of Black Panther does she want to be? We don't get that with Cassie. We don't get that with Kate Bishop. We didn't get that with She-Hulk. We didn't get that with like none of these heroes are getting like besides Cassie is just like an activist who likes to petition and like other than that, what does she do? Like she doesn't feel like she earned it. She doesn't feel like she did anything.
Oh, dude, exactly.
Like she shows why she's special, but she doesn't seem to earn that. But like that's the thing. That was the whole thing with Marvel, like Miss Marvel. Like you were the whole thing is like didn't feel like she earned it. They're doing that with every new hero. It's like, what did Cassie do to really earn the title of the new Ant-Man?
Yeah, that was like one of my major, like, really, we're gonna do this again. Why are all these like super young people super geniuses? Why are they more smarter than a Tony Stark? Why are they more smarter than like a Reed Richards at this point? You know, I don't get that. Like, what? She is not even like blood related to Pym, so you can't really use that excuse that she's just genetically like super. No, like she's building this stuff when they were in a blimp, and like, how does she know how to do this? If anything, she should be a normal girl, and then we should see her in this movie really kind of like find her footing, but we don't. She already knows how to use the suit. She's kind of getting around. Like she gets annoying to the point where she's talking a lot of crap to her dad, and you're like, dude, your dad saved the whole universe.
Whole universe.
He was the one that still had the Pym particles and was able to get these Avengers back in time. Like, why are you disrespecting? Like, who cares if he's not doing anything right now? He's done enough.
He deserves his time. Yeah.
Do you want your dad to die? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Being a super. That's why I love other media talking about or portraying superheroes like The Boys, Invincible. Like, you know, The Boys was the #1 rated show last year, beating out all the Disney Plus shows. You know why? Because it's very realistic. Like, it's not all fun and games. Like in Marvel, you can do that. You don't have to be all fun and games. But when you make prodigies like this out of the blue, you're getting Mary Sue. That's what you're getting. You're getting a Rey Skywalker all over again. And I'm just like, bro, just like, please, just can I get some character development? You know, at least with Hawkeye, with what's her name? Who's Haley?
Kate Bishop.
Kate Bishop. Yeah. I mean, Kate Bishop. It makes a little. I bit like more her. Sense
she was a little better. Yeah.
Because it's not a superpower that she's learned. She's done archery all her life, and she looked up to Jeremy Renner. You know, she looked up to Hawkeye Clint. And she had a goal. She wanted to be like that. Like, that's a good, proper way of like having understanding and progressing your younger characters. But with Cassie, I didn't hate her. I just think I'm just sick and tired of Marvel throwing this at us where, they're just super smart. It's just they're just smart. They could make a quantum
They're
realm.
just prodigies who have a better chance of being better than their successors. That's what they do, instead of earning it or proving it or, And that, they're going back to the whole Scott thing. It's weird to me that we've had 3 movies now, a couple Avengers movies where Paul Rudd is not respected as the actor that he is. Paul Rudd's a underrated good actor. Very you go back to Endgame where he sees Cassie again. Very good scene. That was a good emotional scene. And he shows it again in this movie in multiple little instances where I'm like, this dude should get so much focus and so much character development and get so much more to work with. And it just feels like they don't do it with him. And I don't get it. He is so much more than just this, Ant-Man's kind of a ridiculous character when you first think of Ant-Man as its thing. When it first got released, it's kind of one of their first ridiculous characters they did a movie about.
Yeah.
And he has the potential of taking this ridiculous character and actually giving him really good substance to him. And they don't let him. They don't let him. And it's let him give this character so much more substance.
I absolutely agree, because he could be one of the. I'm not saying he's going to lead a team, but I'm saying he's going to be an emotional weight for the audience, like a Peter Parker, like a Tom Holland. He can. He's a goofy ass character, but there's something there, especially with Paul Rudd, where this movie should have had a little bit more seriousness to it. They should have had a little bit more weight to it. Being stuck at the quantum realm, and that would have made so much. It could have been so good with them being stuck, Kang getting out, and then how about Cassie not even knowing how to do any of this stuff, so she can't really help bring him back. It's the only one that's going to help bring him back is Hank or his wife, and that could have led for Michael Douglas to have something to do, because he has nothing to do in this movie.
Oh, he did nothing.
Nothing. Just put his hands in jelly and find out that his wife was banging Bill Murray. That's it. That's all he did. Yeah. Well, I guess he got the ants too. Yeah,
which you could have maybe dove into that a little more. I don't know. I thought the ants were fun. I like the ants. Some people hated on the ants. I like the ants. I love that. I was like, that's cool. That's his whole thing, is being Ant-Man. I love it. Could have gone a little more into it, but it was cool. I was like, I like that.
Yeah, I think Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is gonna kill it. I think James Gunn's last.
The movie looks so good.
Hurrah! It looks great, and I think it's. Remember back in the day when we did some podcasts, I said it's time for DC to really if they're gonna do it, they need to do it right now. They need to do it right now. They need to do it right now. With James Gunn in the helm, I think the Batman is a good, solid. Everybody loves Batman. Batman's always gonna be a go-to. But then you have the Flash movie. I think I'm honestly, out of all these movies that are coming out, the Flash is and I don't like Ezra Miller, but the movie looks fire. It looks inspiring. It looks like it's going to be a little different. They dealing with time travel and all that stuff. You've got freaking Zod or whatever his name is back in there. But with Marvel, that's the problem, is that they don't have any competition, so they just lay these films out here. And it's just, I know that, phase 1, phase 2 had their stinkers too, or didn't have, were kind of like this, but we should be there's no excuse for CGI to be this terrible at this point. There's no excuse for shows to be so mediocre. Does everybody want a She-Hulk season 2?
No.
What does that have to do with any of this? But Loki season 2, I'm looking forward to, and I don't know. I'm either gonna feel really bad for Jonathan Majors because this is a shit show that's gonna continue and it's just not gonna get any better, or I'm gonna be really happy for Jonathan Majors because they could pull off one of the greatest things we've ever seen on the big screen, and that's what I'm saying is that Secret Wars and Kang Dynasty is gonna bring every major studio Marvel film into the framework. They're going to do it. I mean, it's obvious with Wolverine, Hugh Jackman coming back for Deadpool 3.
So crazy.
that means he's coming back for Kang. There's no way they're not signing him to a deal to come back and do all that, to be a mate. You're going to have Toby back, who already said he wanted to come back. Yeah. I think we as fans just want to know if he's going to make another Spider-Man 4 with Raimi, or but because we know he's going to come back with Kang and Secret Wars. We know that Andrew Garfield's probably going to come back. Sony over there working a deal for him probably to be the Spider-Man over there. So there is, and then you have the Fantastic Four casting that's happening. You're gonna have that movie coming out pretty soon. I don't think Jim's coming. I don't think he's gonna be Mr. Fantastic.
I know. I'm so sad about it.
Unfortunately, but maybe he'll come back for Kang or Secret Wars. This is like, it still doesn't feel like there is introduction to the next step, but it still doesn't feel like a big ass step forward.
Well, here's the thing, Marvel, like, we've been scared with Marvel for a while because their stuff has been so either bad or mediocre. Like, it's either been god awful like Thor Love and Thunder, or it's just been really in the middle, and they haven't seemed to change up their formula a lot. If they're gonna fix their shit, they need to do it now. Like, this can't continue on to Secret Wars. Like, you can't continue this shit on with Fantastic Four. You can't fuck up the X-Men. You fuck up the X-Men, you're fucked. You have so many characters and so much story to tell within the X-Men Marvel universe. If you fuck that up, you're fucked. You've lost like half your universe is gone. You know?
They can't fuck up Kang, man. They can't fuck up Kang Dynasty. They can't fuck up the character. They can't fuck up Secret Wars. If they mess this up, the road leading to it, if they mess up the Super Bowl, right? If they mess up with the Game Changers, these two movies, your next phase that you want to do, say bye-bye to it, because I don't think a lot of people are going to be invested because there'll be no
Galactus phase. There'll be no
they'll be there, but I don't think they'll make as much money as they should, you know?
Yeah.
And it's interesting. It's very interesting. I don't want Marvel to suck ass. I want them to bring it back together, because I mean, some of the best cinema moments are Marvel films in the phase 1, phase 2. Yeah. Like, I grew up with Iron Man, and I knew who Iron Man was. To see how big of a character, or how big he got after Robert Downey Jr. is awesome. To see, like, not know who Captain America is, but don't give a shit about Captain America, and then Chris Evans making him one of my favorite MCU characters, that's nuts to me. Everything had the payoff at Endgame and Infinity War, but this is really in limbo. This is really, I have not attached myself with any of these characters other than Spider-Man, and thank God they have Spider-Man. And really thank God they casted him good. Thank God that the movies, you know what? Looking at the Spider-Man trilogy from Marvel, dude, those guys, this shit's award-winning, Oscar-worthy compared to the films that they've been putting out. Yeah. And they shouldn't be held like that. They're good, but they're No Way Home is the best, of course. Yeah. It's insane, man. It's insane. I hope they could turn it around. I'm sorry, Chase. The Flash isn't the most anticipated movie I'm looking forward to.
We know what it is. Yeah. We know what it is.
That's why I got that Regal Unlimited
card. One thing Sony does right, yeah.
That's that one. That's why I got that Regal Unlimited. Like, I can't I want to take Troy to see this movie. So I went to go see it for myself. Yeah. But I'm like, I don't really want to sit through this movie again. Yeah. I'll take him across the Spider-Verse 10 times if I have to. Yeah. Dude, I cannot wait for that movie. The funny thing is too, I watched it in AG. I went to AG after work. I went to AG and it was the 3:50 showing. I got there at 3:10 or no 4:10. I mean, yeah. So I get my auditorium number, get my popcorn, get my soda, and then the lady's like, "Are you sure you want the 3:50? Don't you want the 4:20?" I'm like, no, because I know the previews. I'm just gonna I got here just in time. The previews alone are 20 to 30 minutes. So hell no. So I go to auditorium, and I'm so stupid because so I sit down, and there's a bunch of old people. I'm like, damn, old people want to watch Ant-Man too. So I sit down, and previews are ending. I'm like, yep, came right in time. Previews are ending, and then all I hear is no.
Yeah.
You knew. It was fucking Titanic. I was in the wrong auditorium. I was like, oh shit. So I'm like, maybe she said 2. I go to 2, and then it's freaking Tom Hanks' old ass as Otto. So I'm like, oh shit. Let me look at my ticket. I'm so stupid. I look at my ticket, and it says Ant-Man 3, and I was confusing the 3 with Auditorium 3. And then on the right side, it was Auditorium 1. I was like, oh,
of course.
And I got into Auditorium 1 right when it was starting. So I got there just in time. I was able to see the actual beginning to end, which is very interesting because they have like Jonathan Majors, Kang, save Michelle Pfeiffer. And I was like, I don't know. I thought like the flashback should have been saved for later on. And it was just weird seeing
what I didn't understand is why was she the whole time like, oh, we don't have time to tell you. I don't have time to tell you. Like, just fucking tell him. Like,
that's
shit.
the major issue like, with this movie. Everybody, you want to know why that Rotten Tomato score is that way? Is because of her saying, you know, Mom, why don't you tell us? You could talk about it. Why don't you tell them about this ruler who could come? You never know. Can eventually get out.
Yeah.
Stupid. This movie's dumb. This movie's very dumb. Very stupid. And not in a fun way, which is ridiculous. It sucks.
It's not as dumb as Thor Love and Thunder. It was at least enjoyable in some sense. Thor Love and Thunder might, honestly, when I really think of Thor Love and Thunder, might be the worst MCU movie.
I think that was the worst usage of Christian Bale's talent I've ever seen.
Ever. He was so, that's the one thing that made the movie decent was him. Like, that was the only part of it where it's like, man, this is like, I think when like I was, my buddy at work was like, you know, what's the best thing to happen in a terrible movie? I was like, damn, it might be Christian Bale, because that's a terrible movie, but he was so good.
It's not a very good movie at all.
Yeah. You know, you got what do you have this year for Marvel? You have Guardians of the Galaxy
3
and the Marvels.
They pushed it back, so they pushed it to November, I think.
Better. They can't make that CGI look like the final episode of Miss Marvel.
I mean, Miss Marvel needs the CGI. All their characters are CGI based. Yeah. I think that's it. And then you got the Loki season 2 this year, maybe.
Loki season 2. Yeah, I don't think Daredevil's not till next year.
I have no confidence that they're gonna make Daredevil good.
No, I don't like the look of like the. I don't like the sound of everything. I'm not. I'm
not a happy camper.
Mm-mm. Yeah. No, I agree. Everything that I've heard, everything I've seen about it, it's like, man, he's a good actor, and I feel like they're gonna aim more for how he was in She-Hulk than how he was in it.
I know. Yeah. The Walk of Shame.
Yeah, which is fine. Like, he was fun. He was like the only decent part of the show, but
he was still good. You know, Charlie Cox carries that character.
Yeah, he really does, because he got that charisma and like,
he's just so likable, which is great. I don't know, man. I mean, honestly, that's it. Like, what else could we talk about? Ant-Man 3. That, you know, that's it's a whatever movie. I will say that I think Wasp was underutilized. I know the actress Evangeline Lilly.
She didn't do shit. And she's been like kind of controversial with the whole COVID thing. So I think I heard that they were going to cut some of her scenes. So I think they did. It's man, I don't know, man. It's kind of getting hard to watch these Marvel movies sometimes. Yeah, it's getting rough. I mean, it's weird. It's like I said, if they're going to fix it, they need to fix it now. Like, they need to really scrub the shit. This movie, like, this movie was supposed to build to your biggest movie, your end game, your next end game type movie. This was supposed to be like the start of it. Like, that was supposed to build towards your next Avengers movie, which is your biggest money maker, your biggest thing, your thing that's going to get the most hype. And you've already started off with the stumble. You know, it's already stumbling. So, like, you got to fix this shit now. You have to give us heroes with interesting backstories, character development. Understand, like, you can't do the same thing you did to the Hulk that you did in the original first 3 phases to every character you have now, where you just make them silly and stupid for no reason. Yeah, it's I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Hopefully that's good. Yeah. That's dope. I'm hoping that at least some of the shows are decent too. You know, I just was
didn't really care for any of the Disney Plus shows except Loki.
I liked Moon Knight. I think I'm higher on Moon Knight than you were. I love Moon Knight.
I like Moon Knight as a character. I just think it was the same schlock that we usually get towards the end. You had two fucking like kaiju fighting basically.
Yeah. I don't know. It did that one episode. I think I based a lot of it off the 5th episode, which was so good, of him like battling his in like the other world or whatever. That's it. That's like what I want more of Marvel. I want more of Marvel to get to that deep, like his backstory and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's what Marvel needs to get to, is like really tragic like backstories and like a deeper like character development that they did with Moon Knight. Like I wish they get back to that with some of these characters.
All right. Well, that's our thoughts on Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania. I mean, this movie we should have been talking about this for like 2 hours. Like we should have been like, this is an introduction of your villain, man. And you kind of wasted it. This film was just not that great, and it was a wasted film.
Yeah.
But I mean, of course, we're gonna still go watch the damn Marvel movies. I might not watch some of the shows though, because some of the shows are just.
I mean, I haven't finished She-Hulk, and I think I finished Winter Soldier.
I didn't finish She-Hulk. I didn't watch the finale. I was like, I'm done. Like I can't.
Yeah.
This is too stupid.
I got too much other shit to watch.
But yeah, that's about it. And then we'll probably talk, other shit. I mean, what was? Oh, Last of Us. We're gonna talk Last of Us.
I need to watch the new episode.
Ooh,
I haven't watched it yet.
It was good.
Yeah.
I think the last episode was better.
Yeah, but it's kind of done that with 3rd episode, great. 4th episode, good.
I mean, they're bangers. They're bangers, man.
Yeah.
Like The Last of Us has just been really solid.
That's why it's my favorite game of all time, though.
Really solid.
Love that game. Love the game.
Pedro Pascal is just killing it. And the Mandalorian season 3's coming, so.
Yeah, my parents are watching Game of Thrones right now, and I walk downstairs and Pedro Pascal laying naked with the man. I know. I don't know why they are.
I'll tell people to watch Game of Thrones if Jon Snow's sequel is the shit. He's the one that could he's the prince that was promised, and he could redeem Game of Thrones. Like as long as Jon gets redeemed, because he should have been king. And maybe Daenerys comes back.
Oh my god.
I can't watch House of the Dragon until freaking Jon Snow does something for me,
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right, man. Well, we're going to end this. Thank you guys for listening to us talk about Ant-Man and the Wasp. Are you still doing Twitch, Chase?
Not really, to be honest. I need to get back.
Did I? Are you going to say it? Just go ahead and subscribe
yes,
to the
overdue
channel.
Bobcat.
Overdue Bobcat 50 Twitch.
Soon.
Go ahead. Go
Some
there.
Dead by Daylight gameplay.
I'll be doing more short videos and more videos in general. I know Mayans is coming, so everybody's gonna be wanting me to talk about Mayans the last season. Thank God. God it's the last season. I honestly, guys, I would have said no, but when they said last season of Mayans, I'm like, all right, I can do it. I'm right there. I'm at the finish line. So, but it's cool to talk Marvel, and then next time we'll have Mr. Marvel himself in there when he's not doing other stuff.
For Guardians 3.
Hopefully for Guardians 3, yeah. And I think we're all three going to watch this when it goes. Oh, I think so. I think so. I like Guardians 2, and I know that's the weaker of the two.
Yeah, I do too.
All right, guys. Thank you guys. I'm Dan the Man Reivews.